There's a good reason I have never brought you down here to the dungeon, and Meg is gonna be furious that I did, but I'm in a rush because we are packing. We leave for vacation tomorrow. Which means I have to give you a little update on this channel. Here's the good news. In the last few weeks, the consistent views of this channel have gone up pretty significantly. I don't know if none of them have gone like viral. None of these videos have been a huge success. What's been so cool about this whole thing is that most of the views are happening on Wednesday, which means you all are choosing to carve out 5 to 10 minutes to hang out with me and talk about these bigger issues. And so first off, to all of you who are watching this every week, thank you. It is so much fun to make these videos. It is so cool to connect with people all across the world who are watching this. I'm so grateful. And it also makes me a little nervous about what I'm about to do. This year's been a really big year in my life. It's the first year that we have a toddler. We bought a new church building. I've written a book and I've got a huge update on that coming very soon. But also a part of that has been these YouTube videos that since November, I have made a new YouTube video just about every week. But I know that one of the big rules in YouTube is consistency. That's why I shifted a couple of months ago to Good Word Wednesday. I wanted you guys to know. I'm not holding these while I talk. So that's why a couple months ago I went to Good Word Wednesday. I wanted even the name of the show to tell you when you could find it, because I don't want to be the guy spamming everybody on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, come watch my new video. I just want you guys to know when it's coming out, and if you want to watch and share and subscribe and all, then just do it. It's cool, but I didn't want to have to hound people, and the consistency is what has brought this really connected community. Those of you watching this connecting with one another, and all of you connecting with me, and so I'm very grateful for that. But it's not going to be sustainable if I don't get some rest. Oh crap! Our brick is eroding. Remember when I was talking about stress last week? This is what I was talking about. This stresses me out, so I don't get to have a pool. The fact is that for me, these videos have to be an overflow. They have to be coming out of what we are living out locally with my family and my church and my own sense of connection with God, and is going to hopefully create something that stimulates and spurs you on in the work that you are called to do and in the person that you are called to be. But if I'm getting tired and grumpy and just a little overwhelmed by all of the busyness of the world, I'm not going to be able to offer anything meaningful to anyone watching this online. And so we're going to be taking a short hiatus from YouTube. Not for long, just for a couple of weeks. And hopefully that means that when I come back after 2 or 3 weeks of proper vacation, I'll be refreshed and restored and recycled and all the other re's to dive back into the work that I get to do day in and day out in my church here and in my local community, and of course on YouTube for Good Word Wednesday. Of course, I know that I'm not the only one who feels this. My guess is that after a very busy school year or work year, as you come into the summer, you too are feeling quite exhausted. And so I really want to encourage you with this line from Scripture. I'm going to just read it off the computer, because why not? So in this text in Colossians, the Apostle Paul, who's one of the early church leaders, is writing about all the work that he does to reconcile together these different ethnic groups in Jesus. And he's talking about how much work he puts into this and how much hustle and grind he does. And then he closes with, "To this end, I strenuously contend," like I work, I pour out, I give it, "with all the energy Christ so powerfully works in me." I mean, how many of us go through our days trying to put our own energy into things? And yet Jesus says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary. My yoke is easy, my burden is light." The yoke's the thing with the cows. Throw up a picture. That thing, and that when you would work the land with an ox, there would be another ox next to it. You'd yoke them together, connect them together. So the one is actually carrying the weight with the other. Or another time when Jesus says that he is the vine and we are the branches coming off of the vine, and any fruit that we produce isn't because we work harder and try harder and spiritually self-improve. It's because we are connected to the goodness and grace of God, the kind of way of living that Jesus showed us. But of course, that means that occasionally we're going to have to be a little less productive. And look, I know that just sounds very the potato heads. I had a mentor once say to me that when we're feeling burned out and exhausted in our life, we need to shift our mentality from one of striving ahead in our work to one of abiding, from striving to abiding. And I know that sounds so vague. Like, I'm a very concrete, kind of logical thinker, and it's like, well, what does that actually practically look like to go from striving to abiding? And the fact is, I don't entirely know. I can't tell you exactly what that means, but what I do know, as silly and strange as this sounds, is that I just can feel when I'm operating out of one mindset and when I'm operating out of the other mindset. When I'm striving, I can never do enough. I always have to work harder. I get angry about how many people have viewed my most recent video, or why isn't church stuff going the way it should go? I mean, why is the house falling apart? You saw the bricks. That's me when I'm striving, and yet I get to visit. It is just visit. I do not live there, but occasionally I get to visit a way of living that is a way of abiding. My mentality shifts, my anxiety goes down, my frustration and sense of control is released, and I feel as if I am a part of someone else's work, not that someone else is a part of my plan. I wish I could give you a perfectly concrete way to know for sure whether you are striving or abiding, but I can't. I don't know how to do that. All I can encourage you to do, whatever your religious background, whatever you believe about faith or spirituality or religion or any of that kind of stuff, here's what I invite you to do. Open yourself up to whatever higher power you can in this moment and say, higher power, help me to abide in you instead of having to strive in my own energy. And I hope that carries you through, not just this week, but the next 3 weeks, because you got nothing from me during that time. But if you want, this is a good time to catch up on all the old Good Word Wednesdays. I am positive that you haven't watched all of them because there's just too many of them. Go on back through the list of videos, pick one every Wednesday morning, choose your own adventure, and I will be back with a whole new video in just a few weeks. Ordered 1 million books off Amazon, and I'm really hoping that they come soon, but the main one I'm gonna try to get through is a Russian novel called The Master and Margarita, which apparently is really good and about the devil coming to Moscow, and maybe I'll do a book review or something like that. I don't know. Oh, they're here. They're here, they're here, they're here, they're here, they're here. Where are the books? The Canada Post. It's right there. Where are my books? Where are my books? Where are my books? Where are my books? Where are my books?